In this demonstration, we're going to go through the creation of a basic reusable flow. Reusable flows allow us to embed logic in other flows. There's lots of reasons why this could be helpful. Sometimes it's for querying external systems. In this case, what we're going to do is use this to create a hold music loop. Our reusable flow is going to play a message asking the caller to wait for the next available agent while that caller is on hold. And then every 30 seconds is going to ask the caller, do they want to continue to wait or do they want to leave a voicemail, and if so, press 1. So that's the structure of what we're going to demonstrate today. What we are going to do beforehand is we're going to encourage you to create 2 messages, a hold notice, where we say please hold for our next available agent, and a voicemail option that says please hold for next available agent or press 1 if you want to leave a voicemail. There is also a hold music that allows us to just play the hold music while we're waiting for a caller to select that message. So with that in mind, let's go through and create our reusable flow. I'm going to go ahead and create a brand new flow. I'm going to use the letters RU to note that it is a reusable flow. So RU tutorial flow. You obviously would call the flow whatever you would like. What you'll do in the type section is select, rather than customer, select reusable as the type of the flow and hit submit. This will create a new flow for us, a new flow window where we can put the new reusable flow together. Now that our flow is open and we have a chance to create a new flow, we're going to start, as we always have to in a flow, with an entry element. Every flow must have a beginning and an end for it to work. A lot of what we're going to do here is a little bit different than you might be used to seeing. So I'm going to go into the upper right hand corner. I'm going to allow other flows to input some values into this flow that we can use later. For example, one of the inputs I'm going to create by going to that little gear icon and going to the flow inputs is I'm going to create a hold music variable. This label at the top is what we're going to show when a flow calls this flow. In other words, so if I were to put this into a customer flow and drop this hold music loop into the customer flow, I'll see this label hold music. As well, when it comes down to the variable, will be how I'm going to use the hold music passed in by the other flow. So again, the whole point here is to allow other flows to use this flow and to send information into the flow for later use. And this is going to be a media variable. Then what we're going to do after that is create a second option. This is going to be voicemail number. So this will be the phone number that we will send a caller to when voicemail is selected. So keep in mind that with CxEngage, we use external voicemail systems, and generally speaking, we'll want a phone number to transfer to when it comes to receiving voicemail. So voicemail number will be the label that the calling flow will see. Voicemail underscore number will be the variable I'll use, and we're going to set this to be an expression type value, which lets the subroutine calling this routine pass in values that we can then put into other flows. All right, so the hold music and the voicemail numbers have all been created. Once we do this, we click on here. Then next to the entry event, we're going to do a play media step. So I'll go ahead and drop that play media step here and line this up a little nice. What we're going to do here is offer up that message that we said, please wait for the next available agent. We called that RU tutorial hold notice. So here we're playing a message that says, please hold for the next available agent. And again, that RU tutorial hold notice is right here. Then if I go down to the next step, we're going to play hold music. So after I let them know, please hold for the next available agent, I'm going to play the hold music that the calling flow passes in. To make that happen, we have to select the variable step. This lets me use a passed in variable like the hold music in lieu of a variable that's been a value that's been hard coded in this flow. So a connection like this is a pretty straightforward step. Now we are in this case going to use a different feature called timer. This little timer thing modifies an existing flow notation. So if I drop it right onto the play media step, you'll see that it kind of docks in the lower right hand corner. So what we're going to do is play a loop. We're going to have hold music play for 30 seconds and then let the caller know that they can press 1 to leave a voicemail or 2 continue waiting on hold. So this is where you could easily say the timeout is 30 seconds, however many minutes. You can specify that here inside the flow itself. After that, 30 seconds is up, the hold music is going to stop, and we're going to go to a prompt where we ask the caller to press 1, for example, to leave a voicemail message. So in the collect digit step, I'm going to go ahead and put this here. And with the collect digits step, we're going to bind whatever they put to the value digits, right? Because we're saying, hey, press 1 if you want to leave a voicemail message. We are going to play that voicemail option. That's what this RU tutorial voicemail option media file says, which again, if we kind of go back to our media files here, we see it's please hold for next available agent, or you can press 1 to play voicemail. I'm going to put that right in here. We only need 1 digit to end the prompt. And we can leave the rest of this pretty much by default. 10 seconds may be great, it may be long. I think I'll shorten it up to maybe just 3 seconds, give the caller, or even 5 seconds, give the caller 5 seconds to press 1 in response to that message before we put them back into a loop. Now, it's important to go through and determine if the caller pressed 1 or not. So I'll put that decision branch here. And actually, it looks like I should go onto this little time clock here first. And you can see if I click on play media, I get a big arrow. If I click on just that little timer option, I get a smaller arrow. So what we're saying here is if I connected this play media step somewhere, that's what's going to happen when this play media ends. However, if I connect it to this little timer, I'm saying when this timer of 30 seconds has elapsed, then I go to this step. So we'll kind of just play hold music, wait 30 seconds, ask the caller if they want to press 1. Go ahead and reconnect that into the exclusive gateway, into the decision branch. What we'll want to do is drop in a forward step. So I'm going to go ahead, and this forward will be how we actually send the caller to voicemail. So in this case, we are going to want to use the voicemail phone number that was transferred in to the variable, into the subroutine. So again, you want to click this variable option, and then that will select the voicemail number, which is the value that we set as a prerequisite into the flow. I then have to say when the caller presses 1, right? So that's a conditional step. And I will do an open parentheses equals space digits, double quotes, 1, double quotes, close parenthesis. So if they press 1, they're going to go down this forward path. Now once the forward path has been completed, we will go ahead and just end the flow. Just kind of drop that right there and end the flow. And also, just a reminder that it's always a good idea to leave little notes for yourself so you remember what the flow is doing. So I'm going to go back to this arrow here. I'm going to click on this little itty bitty gear icon here, and I'm going to say 1 for voicemail. That just gives you a chance to remember kind of what we're doing here in general on the flow. Now the other thing we have to do is if they don't press 1, I want to go back to playing hold music. So by clicking on this decision branch and clicking on the arrow, I can drag this to play media. So what I'm going to do here is just kind of click on this arrow and drag it over to the upper left hand corner there. And then to kind of make it look a little pretty, I'm just going to drag it again to make it look a little bit more like a loop. So this flow here, when a hold music is being played, I'll play a caller, letting him know, please wait for next available agent. Then I'll play a hold music. Then I'll wait 30 seconds of hold music before I ask them, do you want to press 1 for voicemail? If they press 1 for voicemail, I send them to a phone number that has been programmed for voicemail. If they don't, they go back into the loop. So I can go ahead and publish this, and my reusable flow is going to be ready to go. So I'm going to say this is the initial publish, and we'll submit. One of the things that we're going to want to do with this flow is call it from another subroutine. What we've done here is we've created a hold music flow. So what we're going to do is go into an existing flow that has hold music defined, and we're going to replace it with that one particular flow. So I'm going to go back into flow management. I'm going to go to an existing flow that I already have created, which is a tutorial flow, which is the normal walkthrough of a basic flow that we provide for customers. Now I'm going to edit this flow, public to create a new draft of it. Now this existing flow is using a queue with media step. Now let's say that we want our sales calls to be routed into voicemail if they press 1 within that 30-second timeout we've configured. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete the existing queue with media step. Just click on that to exit it out. You'll notice that I have a queue with flow step that is available to me. The difference here obviously is that a queue with media is a flow that's just going to play hold music. A queue with flow will give me an opportunity to change that hold music handling. So I'm just going to go through and reselect. This was option 1 here. So a conditional equals digits 1, and I'll say 1 for sales. Then in the queue with flow step, I can select the particular flow it is that I'm looking for, which was this RU tutorial flow. And I'll use the current active version of that flow. Obviously, if I had multiple versions, I could pick which one I wanted. In this case, we're going to use the tutorial flow version. In the hold music, I'm going to use the hold music I created originally in this tutorial, which is just tutorial hold music. And the voicemail number would be whatever voicemail number you pass in for this particular element. So I'm going to say it's +1 555, or even 1-800 555 1212 as an example. And note that whatever you pass in here passes into the variables we've already configured inside the flow. And then what queue is this going to go to? It is going to go to the sales queue. So select sales queue right there. And again, in the resource, this is the name of the resource that we are binding. So if I find a particular agent to answer this interaction, I return that agent's ID here in the resource value. And you'll notice that we also used that same agent value in the queue with media step here. So we're just keeping it consistent across the board. Then I drag this to conference customer in, and my flow is complete. So if they press 2 for support, in this flow, they enter their customer ID, they hear a hold music while waiting for a support agent that never offers them voicemail. On the sales side, they will receive hold music and then every 30 seconds be asked if they want to leave voicemail on that hold flow.